Welcome to this episode of 843 TV. I'm Annalisa Idkor, and you're joining us today at the beautiful Honeyhorn Pavilion.
And I'm Lisa Richardson, and today we're going to be hearing from Charlie Clark, the Vice President of Communications of the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce, to learn all about the exciting things coming up for fall and beyond.
Absolutely, so hang around for more 843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
HHI-Bluffton TV, where Bluffton comes to speak.
Where Spring Island comes to speak.
Where Hilton Head Island comes to speak.
Where Beaufort comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak. Welcome to 843 TV on this beautiful day, fall day, here at the Honeyhorn Plantation, where we're here amongst this picturesque view, just having gone through Hurricane Irma last week. And today our guest for the entire show is, of course, the lovely Miss Charlie Clark, who's the Vice President of the Hilton Head Island Bluffton Chamber of Commerce. Always good to see you, Charlie.
Always good to be here.
And there's always so much to talk about that y'all are having going to do for the chamber in our area. So, of course, the big topic, we're just finished up going through Hurricane Irma. Thankfully, our area was not too badly impacted, but share with us from the perspective of the chamber what impacts we've seen from that.
Look around. I mean, is this not amazing? Seriously, it's amazing. The bounce back is always nothing short of amazing. I'm always surprised by that. But yeah, you know, we keep calling it, everyone keeps calling it Hurricane Irma. When it got to us, it was a tropical storm.
Right.
People do forget that, you know,
do.
So it had a little bit of a different impact, but I think people would be surprised to know that the chamber, during a storm, we're actually working the storm. We actually have a person in the bunker that stays there full time to communicate with emergency management about how many visitors do we have on the island? Are we going to have to get them out? How are we going to get them out? In direct contact with all the GMs of the hotels and resorts to find out what their levels of occupancy are, because that plays a huge role in, you know we have 40,000 permanent residents on this island, so for a mandatory evacuation, you put visitors on top of that. And in many cases, people who aren't used to storms, as we sometimes are, who are from Ohio, wondering what happened to my vacation.
Yeah, I'm sure a big level of anxiety sits in, and you want to try to calm them.
Well, sure. So it's being in the bunker. It's us going. We actually usually evacuate as a group. Senior management does, just so during the storm, because you know, in today's world, we've talked about how great, I'm sure you guys found, social media is to talk about what's happening.
Yeah.
You're getting
absolutely.
You're getting that real information in real time. Well, so are visitors, and so are potential visitors who are about to come down, or groups, and so there's chatter going on social media.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. I just want to say, you know, you were saying that people are afraid and they don't know what to expect, but you know what? It's also the opposite. People don't understand the potential of the impact here. I'm a kayak guide. We had a tour that sat on our books until Sunday. And I finally called the office and I said, I'm not taking that tour out, right? They haven't canceled yet, because people don't understand the impact that this has even before the storm even hits. So visitors also need to be educated how dangerous it can be.
Or even how dangerous it isn't, quite frankly.
Right, no, I understand.
You know, it goes both ways.
Right,
it goes
that's
both ways. If you were in Ohio and you're watching the Weather Channel, you would think the entire state of South Carolina is inundated, you know, when in reality, we might actually be on a golf course.
Right.
We've had that happen before. So it's also about letting them know, it's okay, it's blowing through, here we go, your vacation. Because we have people call and say, I'm vacationing there in a month. Can you tell me what the damage is going to be? And you know, but look around. This is what we are. If you came down the island, resorts were back open the same week. So we're off-site, working through social media plans, letting the world know that the coast is clear when the coast is clear.
Literally
Letting people know the coast is clear, and just the chatter that's going back and forth. Oh, I'm coming for vacation. Maybe I should cancel. No, resorts are open today. You know, just getting that, and then really, I think the most powerful thing we do is getting those real-time photos out as soon as they happen. We had photos out the day after the storm, beautiful beach shots of the May River dock with shrimp boats on it. It's amazing how fast cleanup happens. And when you're Googling, say, Hilton Head Island or Bluffton and Irma, the pictures you're getting are pictures that were in the middle of the storm.
Sure.
So it's just important, we think, to communicate
Yeah.
that messaging, and because there is an economic impact. You know, the economic impact of Irma on the tourism industry alone was over $10 million.
Yep.
Just in that
Wow.
short amount of time. From a media coverage perspective, there were over 1,800 mentions of Hilton Head and the storm together. 34 of those in national media like Fox News, MSNBC, a variety of, so that has an impact. And so it's about combating that as well.
Sure. Amazing that you have the statistics so quickly. That's great, but that's of course one of the wonderful things that you all do.
That's
to
what
just
we do.
educate and inform.
Explain a little bit though, when you say it has that $10 million impact, how does that translate? Is that from canceled vacations? Is it from damage from the storm? Is it all of that together?
It's all of that together for that. It's a 10 million plus in the economic impact. The resorts alone, just if you want to look at just hotel rooms lost, group bookings lost, that's just over 5 million.
Wow.
So, and that doesn't count grocery stores, restaurants, and all those others. So there is a large economic impact. And I know that emergency management officials, the governor, take those things into consideration because they have to. And you know, a large propensity of folks did stay
Yes.
in Bluffton, did stay on
We
the
did.
island.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's lessons learned, I think, every time, hopefully. And we went 126 years prior to Hurricane Matthew. So here's hoping for another 126
Yes.
between
No kidding. Or
storms.
either that or we're making up for lost time.
Yeah,
One or the other.
yeah, no, it's you know, we're really blessed. We're fortunate that we
Yeah.
don't deal with storms more than we do.
Yes.
So it is fall now, and with that comes a lot of activities for the Chamber. We're going to be talking a little bit about those, and tell us what's next.
I think there's some great stuff coming up with a cornerstone community event. Always has been, always will be. 800 of our closest friends are coming for lunch for State of the Region.
Ah,
Pretty exciting.
and that's a lot to talk about. So we'll stay right here. We're going to be right back with more 843 TV.
Welcome back to 843 TV. Now, just before the break, Charlie was giving us a little bit of a tease regarding the State of the Region. Sounds very special. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, this is an event. Y'all know this event. We've been doing it for
Oh, sure.
over 25 years.
But they may not.
Right, exactly. You know, 800, as we said, 800 of our closest friends come in for lunch that day, and it's just a great way to find out what's going on in your community, to ask questions of your elected officials. We'll have the Mayor of Bluffton will be speaking, Lisa Salka, the Mayor of Hilton Head Island, Mayor Bennett, as well as Paul Somerville, Chairman of County Council, because these are the people that, you know, have an impact on our daily lives. And I think the fun part about it is what we've done is we've actually polled the business community with 1,600 members. Everyone seems to have a point of view, right? So asking our members, what do you think is important? We've taken a number of the hot topics that we've seen, we've all seen in the media and in the news that are trending, and said, you know, what do you want to hear about? Can you guys, anybody have a guess on what some of those top items might be in terms of importance to the community or the business community?
Well, based on what just happened, you know, how do we prepare better in the future? Storm preparation, maybe? Or?
Surprisingly, not on the
Really?
list. Not in the
I know you're going to tell us, though. Let's
Well,
hear
you know
it.
what? I'll tell you. I'll give you a little sneak peek on the show because we're
Yeah.
not quite finished with
Okay.
the survey. But you know what we found over the years of surveying? The initial couple of waves of those survey results really don't change all that much from the end. And so it's workforce.
Oh, absolutely. Now that you
Workforce.
say it, I'm not surprised at all.
Workforce, traffic, the commute.
Of course.
That bridge
yeah.
commute is also
Yeah.
trending very, very high, as well as affordable housing. But really, the availability of a quality workforce. That's those top three are really
that
trending.
really is a problem here.
Yeah, in all three areas. You know, some things that you've heard a lot of buzz about, whether it's plastic bag bans or fees.
Yeah.
And while those are trending and they're important issues to be talking about, when you collectively ask the business community, what matters to you? What do you want to hear about? Those are the three that really trend to the top. So we started it last year. Our elected officials do a videotape presentation. It's great because they hone in on those questions, they get right down to it, and they do 9 minutes each and talk about those, so it's very quick. We'll have a period of question and answer during the actual State of the Region, so people can ask the questions, which is a great thing to have. And then we're so excited to have Senator Lindsey Graham. He's going to be joining us as our keynote. He's a little busy these days. If you've watched the national news with the Graham Cassidy Act and Obamacare and what's happening with that, that's really gaining some momentum. So what a great opportunity to have him on stage to ask those questions.
Absolutely.
Well, so you have this great event. How do we go to it?
That's my question was too. How do we go into it? When is it?
It's going to be happening here on October the 11th. You can go to HiltonHeadBlufftonChamber.org, click a button, and sign up to go for lunch. It's just a great afternoon, and it's a great, obviously, great networking event. It really is. It's the quintessential gathering of the business community. This is the one I think that over the years has become such a cornerstone event and really does bring everyone together for the event. So I'm really interested to hear what Senator Graham has to say. He's a great. Have y'all heard him speak before?
No.
On TV.
Yes, on TV, not in person.
Great speaker. You will never find really a more sort of down to earth, not afraid to say it politician. In the past, we've had him speak before, and I was waiting for Senator Graham to arrive. And normally, quite frankly, politicians come with a couple of SUVs and an entourage, and up pulls this sort of nondescript Toyota Honda Camry or something. And I'm still waiting with my clipboard for the senator to come through, and he pops out of the Camry, and I'm like, Senator Graham, hi, nice to see you.
Welcome to Hilton Head Island.
Well, welcome back. And he's just really disarming and charming, and always has some great. But then he's also very serious about what he does. We're fortunate as South Carolinians. He serves on 2 of the top 4 committees in the Senate, which is, you have to have special dispensation to do that. So he has a great worldview, and there's a little going on in the world these days with North Korea, with healthcare.
Sure.
So it's kind of an insider's peek, which we're looking forward to.
That's awesome. So again, just nuts and bolts wise, about how long is the event? Is there a cost for the event?
There is a cost to attend the lunch. That's on the registration form. It's the
Great.
cost of a simple lunch. I believe
Perfect.
it's like, $35, $40, something like that. It's going to be happening 11 o'clock is for registration, and 11:50 it'll start promptly. And we also have the Marine Band, the Paris
wonderful.
Island Marine Corps Band, which we so love having.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
They're
great.
amazing. They're really, really great. They're really great. So we're excited to have them too, and doing what they do best. And it's just always such a morning of, pride. You're proud of being an American, about being part of the country and part of the community. So
Now, another great event coming up for women focus is Thrive. Tell us about Thrive.
First annual Thrive Conference. You know how great, I think the tagline is empower, engage, educate. Great time to have a bunch of women coming together. Some of our keynote speakers are just really fantastic. We're going to have 3 big keynotes talking about issues that matter to us, whether it be getting ahead in our careers, balancing our personal and professional lives, and then going into breakout sessions, which are really getting down to some nuts and bolts. Whether it's
Right.
how to get healthy, getting healthier, whether it's just good career advice, financial advice. It's just something special I think happens when women gather. And so the Thrive Conference is in partnership with SCORE, Service Corps of Retired Executives, who we work with very closely. So we're excited to be doing this event, and this is our first annual. So we'll see.
That's great.
See how this goes, and we're trending it into a series of luncheons throughout the year.
And where will that be held?
That's going to be held, I believe, at the Sonesta. You can go to HiltonHeadBlufftonChamber.org and get all the details on
I was
that
just going
too.
to say, I'm sure we can find all our information because your website's fantastic.
Oh,
There's
thank
so
you.
much information packed into that site.
Thank you. It's got and we've just recently, not too long ago, launched the Community Connect calendar on that website.
Yes.
Really
Great.
wanted to be the community. You always have conflicts. Do you ever go and you planned your event and there's another one for it, or you just on a Thursday night go, what are we going to do this weekend? Go to the Connect calendar. You can find it all
Say,
there.
now we know how to fill our schedule.
Yeah.
There you go. Charlie, thank you, and we've got more coming up, so stay right here. We'll be right back. Welcome back to 843 TV, coming to you from the beautiful Honeyhorn Plantation here on the Hilton Head Island. And Charlie Clark has been sharing all about the wonderful things happening in our area. And that brings us to holiday time. Is kind of coming, but it's going to be here before you know it.
It's kind of scary.
And Taste of the Season is one of those key events that marks that time. So
Oh,
let us know what's
yeah.
coming down the wire for Taste of the Season.
Isn't it fa la 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 la
Yeah,
la
la,
la
la,
la? How did we get to Taste of the Season? Although this is my favorite time of year.
Oh,
I love
absolutely.
fall, football,
Football for
October,
sure,
November,
yes.
December, my favorite 3 months of the year.
The weather here is stunning.
Spectacular.
That's the best time
It
weather-wise.
It
in
is.
my
It is
opinion.
the best time. So much going on. But Taste of the Season, how much fun is that event? We've just a great way, I think, too, for our restaurants to show off what they're doing. and just a really festive event. It's always a sellout. We'll have about usually 800 to 1,000 people there. It's an elegant evening. You know, it's one of those evenings that's, you know, we have festivals and lots of fantastic festivals that are happening here at Honeyhorn or at Shelter Cove. This is one that, you know, is a little up a notch for the holidays. It just feels a little more festive. So changing it up this year, as we always do, we're doing Taste of the Season Under the Stars.
Wow.
Yeah,
Let's hear about that.
we're going to be doing it at the Country Club of Hilton Head, and we're going to be out, believe it or not, on the driving range, tented. We're going to have a DJ. We're going to have a VIP tent. We're going to have amazing food from all your favorite restaurants, and this is where chefs try out their recipes for the fall, for the winter, and what's coming. So you're going to have amazing food. I mean, things that, quite frankly, I might not order off the menu. You know, maybe do I need to know what wild boar with a cranberry puree tastes like? Sure I do. Pass it over. And favorites like shrimp and grits and everything else in between. Y'all have been to this event. I know you've been to this event.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't miss it. It's one of, you know, I'm a foodie, so.
Yeah, it's
And
the
it
place
is, you're
to
right.
be.
You know, one of my favorite things about it is it does give you an opportunity to taste something that you might not be bold enough to taste in another setting, because you know it's a bite.
Right.
And so you might try that charred squid.
Right.
That in the restaurant you might go, I'm not sure I want to spend $40 on charred squid.
Right.
But you know, and you'll discover that, oh my gosh, it's delicious. So it almost opens some doors in your mind in terms of how you approach food. So I just think it's a
definitely
fantastic
does.
event.
And you mentioned elegant, so a chance to maybe kind of dress up and a little change from what we might normally wear and the outside festivals and so
Well,
forth.
you know, and that's how it's been sort of in the past. I think we probably see this one as being somewhat more casual. I mean, it's up to you.
With outdoors.
With
More
outdoors.
cute hats.
More cute hats, right, exactly. I could see a few boots in the mix there, and also going to have a DJ, which is going to be fun.
Yeah.
And I am so amazed, y'all, at the number of people who do their Christmas shopping at Taste of the Season because of the auction.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, the
Well,
auction is
it's a great silent
fantastic.
auction.
And when you have 1,600 generous chamber members who want to help you fund programs like, you know, Junior Leadership and Project Connect and our school Golden Apple programs, it's so great. You just ask and they say, sure, we'd love to help. So the items you get on that auction are fantastic, and we're also in the hospitality business, so we have great trips to places you just can't even imagine. So it's really interesting to watch people be doing their Christmas shopping.
You know, the other thing I love about your chamber events is it brings people together in a really unique way. And that is something that's always impressed me about our chamber, is you are about bringing that community together. What other networking opportunities does the chamber offer this fall?
You know, it's funny, chambers, people ask this question about us a lot, is that, you know, we live in an electronic world, we're all doing business electronically, we're all doing on social and doing these things, which is true, but there's never a substitute for that face-to-face connection.
Absolutely, yes.
There really isn't. You know, you think there is, and maybe the media wants to tell you there is, but in reality, shaking somebody's hand across the table or having a cocktail with someone and building a relationship.
You took the word right out of my mouth. Relationship. That's really what drives the businesses and things, and is that relationship. And you can't do
Yeah.
that over a screen. And
You can't. People do business with people they like. They want to do business with. I mean, we all have those people that we've worked with that come to mind, that their service is so extraordinary, your relationship with them is so strong, you're going to do business with them based on that, really, based on that. So the chamber is all about connecting. That's what we want to do. We want to educate, we want to do a lot of things, we want to advocate, but we really want to connect because we know that's where business happens. So events like Taste of the Season, like State of the Region, our popular conversation and cocktails coming up.
Talk a little bit about that, because I know that there's people out there that aren't as familiar about that as they should be.
You know, I think we're always trying to evolve and change. You know, we always need to meet the needs of wear and keep things fresh. And so Conversation and Cocktails is an event we do that gets the business community together, casual setting. Coming up here in November, which is going to be so much fun, on the Promenade in Bluffton.
Oh, nice.
We're going to be doing right there on the Promenade in Bluffton.
And isn't that a wonderful place these days? I'm so amazed when every time I go back, there's something new.
How
and
it's grown.
What a wonderful place.
It's grown, and we've all been here long enough to remember when it was. I remember when it was a field.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I remember when it was a field. I remember coming as a vacationer, 15 years ago, and going, where's Bluffton? What?
Yes.
And now it's so
Yes.
popular.
I can go back further to 20-something for me, and when there was one stoplight and one back road to get to the island. It was through downtown,
That's right.
Old Town Bluffton, which none of
Yeah.
that was there now.
No.
So
I was talking
charming.
to a visitor yesterday who hadn't been here in 15 years, and they were reminiscing about this amazing trip they took. They had to drive like 30 minutes into the middle of nowhere, and I said, have you driven that 30 minutes in the middle of nowhere lately? You might want to check it out. It's not in the middle of nowhere anymore.
Yeah, no, it's not. You know, we've talked about the fact that, you know, Hilton Head is on the list. You know, #1 island in the continental U.S., #2 in the world. Bluffton's on the list too. You know,
Yes.
Bluffton is getting some pretty amazing accolades as well in terms of best places to visit, best places to retire. I mean, people discover that gym. Right now, it's up for a
And best places to boat, in my opinion. That May River, you can't beat
you
that.
can't beat the May
Wonderful.
River. No,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
For
But it's up
family
right
time.
now for Best Southern Small Town and the Southern Living
I love
Awards.
it.
And that, you know, Southern Living is like the Bible of the South. I mean, people really love that when it comes to where to travel, where to eat, where to stay. So, and so we have such a large propensity of our members are in Bluffton. You know, business doesn't stop at the bridge.
Absolutely.
So we really believe that it's a regional approach, and so we do events on both sides of that bridge, and we're really looking forward to doing that one this year in
Well,
Bluffton.
I have to say on that super positive note, because I love hearing about how we are thriving as a community.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time. I know you've taken time out of a very busy schedule.
It's fun. It's what a great gig. I love working for the chamber.
Well, there
How
you
much
go.
fun is that?
And thank you for joining us for another fabulous episode of 843 TV.
Where communities come to speak.